Hello, my creative friends. My name is Heather North. You can find me on Instagram at Heather's Creative Blessings. Today is Tuesday, August 2nd, 2022. Although I am pretty sure this video is going to go up today, but this is the day I'm filming it. I'm glad you've joined me for another Flosstube. The past 2 weeks, overall, better than the previous 2 weeks, the previous 6 weeks. Still dealing with some hard things, but there have been some good things that have happened. I will share more of that towards the end of this video, but I wanted to start by just trying to express my gratitude for all of the kindness that you showed me, the caring, the sympathy, the love, the understanding, the thoughts, the prayers, everything. Those of you who shared your own stories. And mostly, I think it was the caring and the understanding that really stuck out to me. Those of you that said, just share where you are, be yourself, Heather. And that's really all I can be, right? But it was okay to share what I'm going through, knowing that we are all going through things. And it was either not film a video this summer or just share where I'm at least part of where I'm at. So yeah, it's been a rough summer. We have another funeral to go to, unfortunately, this weekend. It's one of my husband's co-workers. I don't know him, so that helps. But the third funeral this summer, I'm just, yeah, it's been a rough one. Summer I don't usually think of as being this kind of a season, but it has been, and life continues, and there is beauty in it, and I am just grateful to be here, to be in the moment and enjoying where I'm at and not stressing so much about all the things that are out of my control, if that makes sense. I do have a very big announcement to make at the end of this video. I may or may not be sharing it on Instagram first. I'm thinking I will do an Instagram post after I make this video live. That's kind of my plan right now. We'll see how it goes, because there's still a few details to kind of work out. But I'll share that at the end. Before I get into WIPGO, because the new WIPGO numbers have been called, I wanted to address something that has been asked the last couple of videos. So I apologize if you already know all this, but in case you didn't, the first thing is, except for when I first post, sometimes I'll post or put my video live and I don't have time to fill in the description of the video. But I want to get it live. But most of the time I do try and have a description down below. So you might have an arrow or 3 dots, depending on which device you're looking at. And then you can click show more. And in that section, I will have links to other YouTubers that I mentioned. Sometimes websites are a little bit harder to link on YouTube. But if I can, I will. And if I remember, I will, because I do share a lot of content. Sometimes things get missed. So if I miss something and you have a question, please ask it. I do not mind answering the questions at all. Just know that it's going to possibly take me a little bit longer. I'm not always on my phone. I'm not always on my laptop to be able to answer those questions. So check out the drop-down menu, because you might find the answer quicker than just asking it. But if I forget, please mention it down below and I can answer your question and then add it to the description box. So I'll have shout outs, like I'm going to do in just a second with WIPGO. I'll have a link to Jessie Marie Does Stuff. I also try and include the patterns and the designers of the cross stitch patterns that I share with you. And occasionally I'll also include the quilting. I need to get better at that. I tend to, those kinds of things, those kinds of whips maybe are years old as I'm getting back to them or getting them stitched up, so I might not remember. And sometimes it's just me taking an idea and adapting it and making it my own. But as far as cross stitch goes, if it's a pattern I'm working on, I do try and list the pattern name and the designer so that you can find it as well. Okay, so WIPGO, and I did get questions about this. I also got questions about no new starts. So let me just address no new starts. No new starts is a challenge on Facebook. It's no new starts 2022. So 2022, that group is already closed. It will open up again for 2023, but it will open up in either November or December this year. I'm not sure. They might wait to open it until till this year's done, or they might start a new Facebook group and open it a little bit sooner. But WIPGO runs from January 1st through like the middle of December, or the first week or two of December. And there are several different challenges. There's several different avenues you can start, but the main focus is to work on your WIPs and get them to a finish without starting all the things. It has been a challenge for me, but I have gotten a lot done by being a part of this challenge, and I now know how many stitches I do an hour. I know how long it's going to take to stitch certain things, and there's a great joy and satisfaction of getting things done. I've also, because I'm getting more things done, I'm actually getting more things FFO'd, which is fully finished. So no new starts right now. The group is not yet open. When it does open, I will be sure and mention it here on my Flosstube. Also, you can follow Craft Addict, and I will link them in the description below. And she is one of the admins, the moderators of that group, so she would definitely have more information. Like I said, I have not been able to watch very much Flosstube at all the last few months. I am way behind, and so I know there are others as well, and hopefully I'll be able to get to them and link them in the future. All right, WIPGO. WIPGO was started by Jessie Marie here on YouTube. It's Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She will be linked below. She has a WIPGO challenge group on Facebook that's open to anyone. She also has an Instagram account, which is either called WIPGO or WIPGO 2022. I'll try and put that hashtag in here if I remember as well. But definitely go check out Jessie Marie Does Stuff. I also sometimes put a link, which it might be the other direction, I don't know. But if you see a little icon that's like a circle with an eye in it, if you click on that, you can see definitely it has other YouTube videos you can click on and watch. It might also be able to link to, I think it's just videos. I'm not 100% sure. But you can click on that and you can check out her videos or any other videos. When I'm mentioning a video, I try and put that, whatever site it is, I try and put that in my video. So you can click on it. Of course, you can click and not finish watching me, but you could also, at the end of the video, click on that and see who to watch next, right? So Jessie Marie started WIPGO. It's based on working on your WIPs, which WIPs are works in progress, but it's set up like a bingo board. So you put in your WIPs on the bingo board. Here's mine. Let me show you the, I've got two, they're the same, but one is the pattern and the second one are my goals. So this is my WIPGO board with just the goals. And what she does, and I just numbered mine 1 through 25. What she does, Jessie, is she calls 2 numbers each month, and towards the end of the month for the next month. So around the 27th-ish of July, let's say, she called the August numbers. Actually, I think she called them early this month, but last month for this month. So you've got a couple of days before the beginning of the month to kind of make a plan for what you want to do to reach your goals. You make your own goals, you make your own board, you put your own patterns on. And this is my board, and I've got different ways that I keep track of stuff. But it's just a way to kind of focus on your WIPs throughout the year. And I've done different things over the years. So if you want to check out some of my older videos, you can kind of see what I have done with WIPGO. This year, I wanted to make my goals more attainable because my focus really has been more on the no new starts challenge and the no new starts road trip than anything else. So WIPGO, my numbers for July. I can't believe we're in August. Numbers 11 and 18. So number 11 is Sail Away. This was put out by Fat Fat Quarter Shop. And I believe it was like a mystery stitch along. And my goal was to get that lighthouse done. So I did meet that goal. This was a great one to call this time of year because I really do want to work on this kind of a thing. So there's my lighthouse. I have to do this. I have to look at it again. There's a sailboat, some waves, a seagull. So I don't know, maybe a third, not quite a half of the way done. Once that sailboat's done, it will be. And the picture is not that great. I apologize for that. But this is, whoops. So this is my sail away. Met my lighthouse goal. So that means my goal for the year on this one has been met. Once I pull it out though, I continue to work on it once my other WIPGO goals are done, or if I need to meet it for a different challenge. But once my other WIPGO goals are done for the month, I go back to any outstanding whips I have that have been called or not, and put some more stitches in there till I get them to finish. Because my ultimate goal is to get everything I start finished, right? That's all of our goals, right? I'm gonna have to live a very long time to get all of my whips finished. I have mine. This is a bag I got from 31 Gifts a long time ago. It's just, I think it's like a little lunch sack, but that's what I have it in. And I put the needle minder on there. Cute, cute, cute. All right. The second goal, oh, this is for this month. The second goal, I took my husband, his work, they had a softball tournament, and it was basically the leads and supervisors and all that against the hourly crews. So I took this with me. It got very dusty. That field was so dusty. So you'll see me kind of wiping some of this off, but it was a great one to bring. I wanted to bring my newest whip. I'll be showing you in a second. But it's white, and I thought, out on the baseball field, maybe not a good choice. I'm so glad I didn't bring it because it's the amount of dust. I was just covered in it. But this is in a bag that I made, so I'll just show you the bag really quick because I don't think I've shown this in a while, although maybe I did last video. So I made this project bag, vinyl front, simply quilted, and then I added some charms to it and the little truck on top. But this is Pumpkin Patch. Oopsies. Pumpkin Patch by Primrose Cottage Stitches. I use mostly the called for colors, although I did change out a couple because the color I had wasn't quite the same as what was pictured. And so I did change. I used it in some places and not in others. I stitched this on Fabric Flare Cafe Olay Ada. This was when I was in the Fabric Flare Club that Fat Quarter Shop did. Excuse me. You know I love me some Fabric Flare. It's printed on one side and it's white on the back. But here is my finished pumpkin patch. I'm ready for fall. I'm not really quite ready for fall, although I'm ready for fall temperatures. Let me tell you. It has been so hot. It is nice and cool today. The marine layer came back in on Sunday and cooled everything off Sunday night. Yesterday was just glorious. It's only supposed to get to like 76 here today. It was 102 on Saturday. So yeah, that's an update for the end of the video for those of you interested in what's been going on in my life. Ugh. Okay, that's neither here nor there. That is Pumpkin Patch. So I met both of my July goals, Sail Away and Pumpkin Patch. I met my June goals, I told you last time, of Liberty Inn and what's number 9? The February sampler of the month. I did not pull out, I don't think at all last month, the February calendar crates. I still have that to do. I didn't get a whole lot of stitching time this past month, and so that didn't even get worked on. The new numbers that were called for August are number 25 and 20. Number 25 for me is Winter Rose Manor. It's a lofty goal. The goal is to do 1,000 stitches. Now, technically, I've already done 1,000 stitches on Winter Rose Manor. Fun fact about me, I took a speech, I was in speech therapy when I was a kid because I could not pronounce my R's. I pronounced them like W's. So anytime there's a word that has W followed by an R word or vice versa, I really, really struggle. Even saying really is a struggle. So Winter Rose Manor, I have done more than 1,000 stitches, but I wanted to, when this number was called, put another 1,000 stitches in that month because I want to get this to finish. I love this pattern so much. I am using Vicki Clayton's hand-dyed silks. I do not have a great way of storing them, so right now they're just in my bag on this, I don't know, is this called a biddy board? It's one of those Lori Holt boards, but that's how I've got the silks stored. The pattern itself is by Brenda Gervais. I don't know if I said that. It's got that beautiful big pink house. This is going to be a great one for reaching my No New Starts challenge goals, because when you have a lot of stitches, having fill-in is a great thing. Normally, I don't enjoy the fill-in. I find it boring, but since I started doing the No New Starts challenge, I am loving it because I can get more done. This bag, I'm trying to read what it says. Pinky Promises, handmade with love. So this bag was made by Pinky Promises. I love the little scissors on there. Look at that. Okay. I haven't pulled this out in a little while, so I'm just oogling over it. I'll show you where I am to start with. This fabric is by Bestitch Me. I can't remember. I think it might be not another sampler. And I'm pretty sure it's 32 count. Here is where I am at. I am doing some of the pieces, or some of the stitches 1 over 1, and some I'm not 1 over 1. 1 over 2, which is 1 thread over 2 squares, and some of them I'm doing 2 over 2. It just kind of depends. And I like the coverage when you do 2 over 2, but I also like the vintage look when you do just the 1. But then I battle the seeing the cloth through the back thing, so I'm switching it up as I go. It kind of just depends on my mood and if I remember. I'm trying not to be too picky with this one, just trying to enjoy the process. So that's Winter Rose Manor. My goal will be to do another 1,000 stitches on that this month. The second one is, hopefully this one. Second one is Mychal's Prayer. This is by Silver Creek Samplers. My goal for the month is to get 4 words done. And I believe I've done 4 words this year. I think I just had Lord done, but again, my goal is going to be to get 4 words done in August. This is a piece of Bestitch Me fabric. The color is Artemis. It's a 16 count Aida. So I have Lord, send me where you want me to go, with a little heart. That's my minimum to get done. But I think I'd like to get that whole row right here done with the little heart included. So that's where I am so far on this one. This was my September 11th commemorative type stitch. I started it on September 11th. When it hit 2021, we've been 20 years. And so I try and pull this out like I pulled it out Memorial Day, I'll pull it out on Veterans Day, I'll pull it out on September 11th and stitch on it as well, and then trying to meet my goal. Oh, I left my new start upstairs. Okay, I'll grab that in just a minute, but let me show you the last one I have in here. This is a finish. This is Serendipity by Fat Quarter Shop. This was a fundraiser they did for Make-A-Wish, and I completely changed all the colors. Again, boy, this is a Be-Stitch Me type of a episode, because again, it's on a piece of Be-Stitch Me cloth. I think it was either 18 count or 20 count. It's pretty tight. I had to do one thread over one square because it's Ada. This is more representative of the color back here. Those are the colors, but I'll show you up close so you can kind of see. There we go. It's like a quilt. I think I'm going to make this into a bag. I was going to frame it and put it in my quilt room, but I think it would be super cute as a cross stitch bag, don't you? So we'll see what ends up happening, but that's my, I think it's my one finish for July. I didn't share my stats, did I? The real question is, did I bring the book that has it? I brought that. Oh, yep, it just fell down in my box here. Okay. My July stats are pretty pathetic, but that's okay. July was a rough month, and duties were called elsewhere. Actually, no, I did that right. Okay, I had one finish, which was that Serendipity. I had 2 FFOs. Those were the Lori Holt stitch cards that I finished. And I don't think I had any bags. I started a bag. Did not finish it. It's on my list. Oh, yeah, I think I may have, but it's hard to remember when I start and finish because I don't keep track of my sewing with the same as my my cross stitch. However, when I do a cross stitch bag, I count it as part of my cross stitch. Did that make any sense? Probably not. All right, so those were my July stats. I'm going to pause here before I get into any more so I can show you my new start. Right. When I say that I made a bag, I mean a cross stitch project bag. I've showed you this before. I don't know if I showed you this or not. I followed the tutorial that Cassidy, Lori Holt's daughter, did on her channel, along with the floss flowers, and I'll try and link it. It'll be the little part of the little eye if I can find it. And I remember that tutorial, but I put that on the Zippy bag that I made. This is a project panel. I got the panel at the Shiplap Quilt and Coffee House. They've got panels there for sale. So, and the zippers have come in finally. Those zippers were out of stock for everyone for like forever. If you've never made a bag before, making a bag with double zippers makes it so much easier. So much easier. The tag is included. So made the little tag, and then I used decorator weight fabric on the inside, and I used just batting. Excuse me. I used just batting on the inside. Pull out some of the stuff that's in there. That's part of, that's her decorator weight fabric. It's little pins. It's so cute. I don't know if I've shown that. I probably have. So this is You Are the Boss. It's the new one out by Lori Holt. You are the boss of your own quilt. I just love it. Lori Holt also came out with a free alphabet that you can use to make your own saying on the inside. You could do your name, you could do this as a sampler for somebody else, maybe a child's birth, and use pink or blue or whatever colors you wanted. You could also do it as like a wedding gift and put the date in there. You could do your favorite quote, whatever you want, but I'm doing it just like this. This is actually a commissioned piece I'm doing for someone else. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And I'm using the called for DMC. So there's all of the lovely colors. I'm stitching it on Lori Holt Vintage Cloth Cloud, and it's 25 count even weave. All right, put that there. This has been so much fun. I decided to tackle it by kind of doing the outline and the frame first. Make sure it all matched up, make sure it all fit. And then I started over here on the left and decided, you know what, I probably should do the right side first and go right to left, only so I'm not holding the cloth and putting my hands, because it's white, putting my hands on my stitching that's already done. So I decided to kind of go that way, and I'll move this way. I almost have that right side done. That will be done today. It's going super fast. It's just that I've been working on other projects. Still, it takes time, but it's been a lot of fun. These bright colors are just happy and cheerful. If I wasn't doing it as a commission piece, I probably would have changed the colors. Honestly, I would have, and I may do this again for myself and do the colors of my quilt room, but it has been so much fun using these bright, happy, summery colors. And if I ever get to the point where I change out my sewing room for the seasons, this would be a great, I think, spring into summer. All right. So that is You Are the Boss. You are the boss. Don't feel much like a boss. I'm just looking to be sure. That is all my stitching, but I did want to share, I did the calendar crates by Stitching with the Housewives, and I just took this down. I need to finish the August piece. It's done. I just need to FFO it, which FFO means fully finished object. So I need to FFO my August piece, but this was my July one that I had hanging up, and I had the, I don't really know what to call it, but the finishing piece that Priscilla and Chelsea put on the back of their patterns for the calendar crates, I have that one. It's from Hobby Lobby, and this hangs down off of one of the hooks, and I've got magnets to put this on the basket thingy. I know, very specific, right? But with this, I'm just popping this out. This is the frame I used, and I've got magnets on here. And there's my sunflower seeds and honeybees. So it's August. It's time to pull out all of the honeybees and sunflowers. I finished this. I loved it so much that I've had it in my sewing room. But this is going to be going out for decoration. And then this piece here as well is going out. So these are both by Primrose Cottage stitches. All right. Since I was kind of just in the middle of doing that. Oops. Okay. Before I get to happy mail, just a little lane swerve. This is not something, I don't know if I guess you can tell me, do you want to see this? Do you want to see everything that I create, even if it has nothing to do with cross stitch, or would you like me to leave it off? If you want me to keep doing it, I will put them at the end. But for now, I have a friend that, she's actually my Bible study leader. We taught together, and she's been over me and taught me, and she's just a really sweet, kind person, caring person. She was getting into card making as I was kind of not doing it. I didn't do it for several years. Well, she has a Stamp It Up demonstrator that she meets with every month. I think they meet every month. And so I kind of invited myself, but she invited me to come to one of their classes. So I did, and got to play with stuff I haven't seen. I mean, Stamp It Up's got some new stuff. But these are the cards we made. So this one is Hello. And if you're a longtime follower of my channel, then you found me making cards. I didn't get this cleaned in between, so that green's not the right green. It totally irritated me, but I don't think whoever gets this will care or know. So there's that one. There's this one. I love that they've got some frames with some different textures to it. That's the inside. And it's not going to show up, but there's a texture folder in here I really liked as well. Great for masculine. This one, kind of a soft peachy color. It was just fun to play with stamps again and have somebody else making the decisions. And this last one, I changed the sentiment to make it a sympathy card. I think this is the celebrations going on. I think it was part of celebration. These are like little metal butterflies. You can see the kind of a brassy color with sticky on the back. Isn't that fun? They're on the front and the back. So that was just a little bit of card making. It was, like I said, it was a lot of fun to see what has come out and to play with the things and to not have to make the decisions as far as, you know, when you've got all of the stuff and you have to narrow it down to what card am I going to make, what stamp am I going to use, what colors am I going to use, what paper, what embellishments, all of that. It was all done for me. And it was already cut out, so it's just kind of sticking it together, and anyways, it was a lot of fun. So that's that. And of course I said, yeah, I'll come every month to your little thing. It was nice to, it was just nice. I haven't done cross stitch in a long time. Okay, I have some haul and some happy mail. Very, very happy mail. But let's start with this. This is my last shipment of the fine floss from Fat Quarter Shop. This is the Needlepoint Ink Needlepoint Silk. And it is in the mint green. You knew I had to stay in it through mint green, right? If you knew that that was coming, yeah. So this is the mint green collection. It's 511, 512, 513, 514, and 515. And the next colors that are coming out, I think it's a yellow. It seems like a rust red or something, brick red, something along those lines. Very fall colors is what it's sounding like to me. And since I haven't really been grabbing these yet, I decided to stop this particular club for a while. I can always get more if I decide to start using those. But I feel like I've got a good start on my collection and things to kind of pull from, to play with, and to try out. So I did stop that particular club. All right, the next thing is this. And I cut it open, but I haven't looked inside. This is from the Kitten Stitcher. I think Shakespeare's Peddler. I believe this is it's not a club. She has these packages she puts together, and you don't have to like subscribe to be in it for a year or whatever and have things sent to you. It's just, she puts together this kit, and then if you want to get it, you can get it that month, or if you don't, you can pass. So and of course I ordered more than just that, so let's see which is which. This is this is Home is Where My Stitching Is. I mean, I didn't know what the pattern would look like, but Home is Where the Stitching is definitely me to a T. So this pattern is by the Primitive Hare. I'm sorry for the sound if you're wearing headphones. I'm gonna just open it up and see what's inside. Okay, Okay, does it say? It's 135 by 195. The fabric that's called for is Fairy Gray 30 count linen by the Primitive Hair. I believe that's what's included in here, as well as the threads to go with. So here is it's looking browner. It's definitely gray. It's looking browner, sorry, in the picture than it really is. There we go. And the called for colors, it looks like it has a Weeks Dye Works and then some DMC. And I may, because it's a big white house, I may change the color. I probably would change the color. This is a cute little scissors. Sorry. You're like, this is boring. Just watching you look at your pattern. Okay, so that was the Home is Where My Stitching Is kit. Love it. Love it. And then, of course, I got some extras to go along with because, you know, Stephanie just keeps stitching, says, no chart can travel alone. I love this because it's cross stitching with stitching and fabric. So this just seems like it would be a perfect project bag, or even finishing like on the back of a pillow or another finished piece. So I got those. I got my colors. Or at least some of them, in some twill tape by Lady Dot Creates. And then she may have included this. I think she did. A sticker. I love it. It looks like something I would buy, but I think that it was just included by her. So that was that bit of haul. And then, oh, last but not least, before I give that update and the announcement. Oh, actually, I'm going to show you that too. Okay. This is not even close to last but not least, but it's the last bit of Happy Mail. This was sent to me by Hello from Liz Matthews. It was a while ago. I won a, I think it was just a random drawing that Liz Matthews had done on her Flosstube. It was either her Flosstube or her Instagram. But it was for a gift certificate to Keystone Sisters Stitching. So I got the gift certificate. I am very excited about this. I'm going to have to look online and see what they had to offer, but you know, I love stitching. It's a quilt shop, and I believe they are the ones that had been quilting her quilts, because she's now gotten into quilting as well. It's been fun watching her journey, and I know she's got a new one out. I need to go watch it, but got the card, sweet little note. Thank you so much, Liz. And then she included some of her new patterns, and I have not watched her newest Flosstube video. I knew this was on the way. I didn't know it would include her patterns, but I haven't had a chance to watch her newest video, but I was like, that's okay. I'll watch it and see what she came out with. Well, I now have them. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I got Garden Side, Sampler, and Tree. Look at that. Oh, look at the little cat. That is so cute. Okay, sorry. This, You Are My Sunshine, My Only Sunshine. I might have squealed just a little bit. I know it's just words, but it's very special. And then Forget Me Not. Isn't that perfect for what I've been going through this summer? And this is Wildflowers. This is really interesting. It's stitched here on a darker, it looks like navy, and then here on a lighter tan. Isn't it interesting how different the pieces look depending on what cloth you stitch them on? So I haven't read any of the details. I just got this. I think I just got it yesterday, or I just opened it yesterday. Very exciting. Thank you so, so much, Liz. And then the last thing she included here, I love. I'm so excited. I didn't even know she was doing this. But this is Sampling of Memories. Oh, I thought a cat just came in here. LaDonna Snellbaker. So you can find her. She's on Etsy, Facebook, Flosstube, Instagram. I'm gonna have to look her up. www.samplingofmemories.com, and it's a little keychain or a scissor fob. Actually, I would use this for my thread drops, or I might put it on a bag. But it has her glad tidings. Sorry, I cannot get it to focus. Maybe if I took it out of the bag. Oh, the little scissor fell off. So I have finished this Glad Tidings piece, and I'm hoping to FFO it for this winter to put up in my house. But I just love it. I just love it. And I love that she has her her quilt sample in there. What a very cute idea. So thank you, Liz. I'm very, very grateful. It was so, it's so fun to see your own quilting journey, and it's exciting to get Happy Meal from you. I'm just thrilled. A little side note, my husband won something on Facebook within that same week or two that I won this, and we both been, he's been like stalking the mailman. He's not a mailman. We have a mail woman, a mail carrier. A UPS man is, the UPS driver's a man that he keeps looking to see if his prizes come, you know, and mine came first. I mean, I won mine first. The little scissor charm fell off, but it was really easy to reattach. Just a little loose. So cute. So, so cute. All right. So that is all of my haul. Now for a little bit of stitching. Shiplap Quilt and Coffee House in Tenino, Washington has something called Shiplap Society, and they meet, I want to say, the second Thursday of every month. So I went to my second one, and this was one of the things I started that night. The pattern is called Let's Play Hearts by Atkinson Designs. I got this at a quilt shop during the shop hop last month, or maybe it was the end of June. And for the life of me, I can't remember the name of the shop, but it was kitted up with the fabric. Now I almost switched out for Nantucket Summer because I think that would work beautifully as well. But I went ahead and did this. And it's a, I would say, a table runner size. I have a table, actually, the cabinet that I keep my cross stitch fabric in, is the top of it is just about the same size as this. So I think that's where this is going to go. And I had thought I would stitch it, like free motion stitch it, but kind of do a swirl here, outline the heart, go to the next one, swirl down here. Then I was cleaning, or I was looking for something in my, I was cleaning. I was putting something away. And right behind the ruler thing that I was putting away, I saw the big chunky thread I had used for another quilt. It's called Big Stitch Quilting. And the thread's a lot thicker than what I would normally use. I don't usually stitch by hand, but I really like that big chunky look. And that quilt I've given away. But I thought maybe this might be a good one to do again with that big chunky, big stitch thread. So what do you think? Should I do more of a free motion quilting, adding designs in the middle, or should I just do like big chunky stitches kind of outlining the inside of each heart? So this is technically done. I just need to decide how I'm going to quilt it. And I have the binding for it too. The kit came with the binding, it came with the fabric, and I just love it. It's very, very pretty. When I was working on it, my friend Terry was sitting across from me, and she says, I've made several of those table runners. It's a great hostess gift. And I thought, oh, that's really a nice thing. Oh, nice thing to do. So I will have the opportunity to do it a different way in the future. But since this fits so well on my little cabinet, I could do something like this for every season. I think I might end up changing it out. But anyways, that was just a fun little stitch. Okay, are we ready? Ready for the announcement? Okay, I may or may not leave this part in. So last weekend, I told you it was 102 degrees. We had a very hot week in the 90s to 100, which is very rare for this area. We do get 100-degree days, maybe 1 to 3 times a year. I mean, a summer. But it's always a big news event when it happens. This last time, Saturday, my husband woke me up from my nap. He said, I'm sorry, honey, you need to get up and look. He had just looked out our window from our upstairs den and towards our friend's house. We have 2 friends that live over there on opposite streets. And it was a huge plume of black smoke with a helicopter coming. We got in the car. We drove over to our friend's house. This is the friend. He was killed in a car accident the July 4th weekend. His daughter is kind of my bonus daughter. She's someone that just a part of our life. She was at an outdoor concert about 4 hours away. Thankfully, her boyfriend was there. His parents had already arrived. And shortly after we arrived, her friend Jess, who has a horse there, also arrived with her boyfriend. And so my husband, my son, Rick, his parents, there were 8 of us there, got the horses moved to the front of the property. They were in the shade. They had water. They were fine. The dogs were following the humans all over, following especially Peyton's boyfriend and our son around, and the chickens were fine. They were in their little coop. We got the water going, sprinklers going in different areas, and then we watched, and I'll put a video here at the end, we watched the helicopter fly from, I think they're picking up water at Millersylvania. There's a little lake there in a state park, and dropping it on this property that was behind our friend, behind Peyton's house. And then on the other side behind that is another friend we went to church with. Our kids, our son wrestled with their son. My husband and the gentleman worked together. The wife and I have been friends and done Bible study together. And so the fire was in between these 2 properties of friends that we know. The fire did not touch Peyton's property, the one whose dad just died, thankfully. she could not get there. There's no way she could get there. There's other things that happened, but her boyfriend did a great job of taking care of things, and people were offering help. Jess was going to take the horses if need be. I also had my friend Cindy that I knew. She lives fairly close. She lives close, but on the other side of Highway 12, so she's not so close that the fire would reach her, and she has horses and a trailer and could get anything. She's livestock. She can get. I knew that we could get the horses out as long as the fire had not spread there, and it thankfully did not spread to her property. It was super hot. It was miserable. The fire took a newly built barn filled recently with hay for their cows. It took a newly built fence. It took several small like trees and definitely field. It took a house, and I think it said 20 vehicles. And while we were there, we could hear, we heard both tanks exploding from the vehicles as well as ammo going off. So while it started out as really bad, I thought, not one more thing, not one more thing. This girl does not need one more thing. It ended up that the fire didn't even reach her property line. They got it out. It's under control. That remained like a controlled burn because there were so many vehicles involved. This guy was either a collector or it was had like a junkyard in his yard. I'm not sure. I don't really know that area very well, but or I don't know that person at all. So I can only speculate. But the rumor is it started with a burn pile, and there is currently a burn ban on. There's a burn ban every summer from, I believe, July 1st through Labor Day weekend-ish, but especially when we've had such a hot record-breaking heat wave, it makes no sense. So I don't know if it was just an old pile that hadn't completely gone out and sparks flew, or if that was just a rumor. But please, my public service announcement for this video is please be careful. Please be extra careful. Our friends from work and church, they are fine. Their family's fine. Their house is fine. Their animals are fine. Our friend Peyton, her house is fine. Her property is fine. Nobody was hurt there. None of the animals were hurt there. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Everybody is okay. But it's an interesting Saturday. Let's just say that I did not get any more stitching done on Saturday. Big headache on Sunday. But all is well. And I'll include the video here of some of what I took. I didn't get the flames going up when the fire was at its worst. We were taking care of things. Not me so much. I was just petting the dog, going, "It's okay, Suki, it's okay." But the horses, "You're doing so good." I was talking to the horses while they're drinking out of the trough. I mean, I'm pretty useless, but in the heat. But I did take video after that when everything was okay, and I will include that here.
earlier too. But go. We live before you get to Johnson Creek in the family. Yeah, don't do that. That's not smart. Oh, here it comes.
All right, now for my big announcement that I have been teasing and I am so excited about. First, I have to thank my friend Debbie. Debbie told me last year, I think it's been a little over a year ago, they're coming up on their 2-year anniversary, that there was a new quilt and coffee shop opening up in Tenino, Washington, and we made plans to go together. I don't think we've ever made it there at the same time, but Debbie, you are the first one to tell me about Shiplap Quilt and Coffee Shop, and I am so glad you did. I'm so glad that they opened their shop there. And then the second, I have to thank my friend Terry. We were in the South Sound Modern Quilt Guild together. I think, Terry, were you one of the founding members, or did you come that second year? You're definitely part of the OG, you know. Originals with the South Sound Modern Quilt Guild. Our mutual friend, Melissa Dunworth, started the South Sound Modern Quilt Guild. She was our president for many years, and then she has gone on to be a teacher, but she's teaching a class there coming up, I believe is August. She's got 2 of them in August. So I will link Shiplap Quilt and Coffee Shop down below, and you can look at their events to sign up. But I am going to try my best to make it to the one on the 13th. I have a family meeting for that second one. It might be August 20th. So I may be able to come for like the second half or come for the first half. I have to check the time because I do have a meeting that I have to attend that same day. But I'm so excited that she's going to be there. She's going to be teaching. She's an incredible quilter. She pieces, she does long arm quilting, she designs her own patterns. If you can make it, it will definitely be worth your time. So I'm not even sure for sure where it's going to be held, whether it's there in Tenino or if it's going to be at their new warehouse they're opening in Olympia. So Shiplap is expanding. They have a shop in Yelm, and now they'll have a big warehouse in Olympia that they've said they're going to be having that, like the end of Bolt or clearance fabric is going to be there. They're going to have set up for classes to be held there. I just don't know when that's opening up for sure. So anyways, Terry's been posting. She's been working for Shiplap. She has made those Lori Holt quilts that maybe you've seen. If you're local and you've been there, you've seen the quilts she has hanging up. Right now she's got a beautiful red star with a white background. It has been beautifully quilted, like life goals. I want to be able to quilt like that. With my long arm, I'm far away from that. But it is my goal to be able to do the actual quilting like that. But it's her quilt that's hanging up there. She pieced it, somebody else quilted it. She works there, and she has recently been promoted to, and I'm not sure the title, but it's somewhere along the lines of creative team coordinator or director. And she is basically doing just that. She's coordinating the creative team for Shiplap Quilt and Coffee Shop, to have samples made to put up in the shop, to have teachers and instructors come in and teach classes. And so excited. I plan on heading out there probably tomorrow, maybe today, probably not, probably tomorrow or sometime this week, and filming a live video from there that I will either insert at the end of this, or I'm going to film it afterwards and go to Instagram when this is over and see if you can see it, because it'll be one of two places, or both places. If I do it before I post this video, then I will include it at the end of this video. If not, I will, you can find it on Instagram. I'm at Heather's Creative Blessings on Instagram. So my exciting news is I have been asked or invited, or maybe I invited myself, to be a part of the creative team at Shiplap Quilts. I have my first couple of assignments. My first assignment, I will insert a picture here. That is the I think it's 2022 Pan American Airways, but it's called the Patchwork Duffel Bag. I will try and put a link, not a link, I'll put try in the description down below to tell you what the pattern is and who made it. But I was asked, they gave me the pieces I needed, and I was asked to make that bag, so my bag. And y'all, I have made bags. Where is that one? Here it is. I have made some project bags myself, but this is way different than that huge duffel bag. It ended up being a huge, big duffel bag. But something I made is up on display in a quilt shop. I am just like, pinch me. It's part of the dream. Part of the dream has always been to create for a living, right? To make things, and now I'm doing it. I'm just so excited. I have my second assignment, which actually it was my first assignment, I just haven't gotten it yet, is to make a quilt or quilt top. Kirsten, one of the shop owners, Kirsten and Gary own the shop. She does the quilting, the long arm quilting. She's the one who quilted my broken herringbone. I'm pointing like it's back here. It's not back here. It's not back here. It's in my sewing room. I have the binding sewn to that because I sew it to one side and then I hand stitch it down. I won't be hand stitching it down until it's much cooler, but that's ready to finish up stitching. Anyways, she did the quilting on that, my first quilt to be quilted. She quilts most of the quilts for the shop, with a few exceptions. But I'll be doing the piecing of the top. It's a new fabric designer that they're going to be carrying. The designer's not new, it's just new to the shop. They're kind of expanding and adding this, and I am so excited that this particular designer is going to be in the shop. As of now, I don't think it has been announced publicly, so I can't tell you who it is. I'm just waiting on the fabric to arrive in the shop and them to give me the kit, and I will be sewing on that. I'm just, can you tell? I'm excited. And then, as if that wasn't just enough to thrill me and to turn the summer into something not completely terrible, but actually sort of wonderfulness added in, they are experimenting with adding cross stitch to the shop. That's right, cross stitch to the shop. If it goes well, if people are interested, they will expand even more. My hope is that it will become so popular that they'll have their own needlework. We will have our own needlework shop in the Olympia, Washington area. They also have an online store. I'm like 99% sure cross stitch hasn't been added there too yet. It's just barely been added to the shop. But you will find some of my pieces, my cross stitch pieces, also in the shop. I've got a picture. Isn't that exciting? So Terry and I have this kind of plan together. I have a vision for what I'd love to see, and I shared it with her, shared it with Gary through email. So what they've done is they started pulling in a little bit of cross stitch. They will have Cosmo threads. They have some of the patterns. They will have most of what Lori Holt offers. They already have a big Lori Holt section there. I've asked them to bring in some Primrose Cottage stitches. So there's some of that. I will be teaching a class. We're working on some finalized details. But for right now, put September 10th on your calendar. If you were in this area, we might be able to meet in person for a little cross-stitching thing. Isn't that exciting? It'd be so cool to meet some of you guys and just to be a part of something like this, because I have wanted this since I got back into cross-stitching. I never had a local cross-stitching or needlework shop. And I feel like it's a huge need for the area. And I asked on my last video, and please put it on this video as well, where do you live in the Washington area or in the state of Washington that you would like to have a quilt shop or a needlework shop? Sorry, both. Because people are watching and paying attention. So that is my number one big news. I am part of the creative team at Shiplap Quilts. I am in the works of getting a local designer, hopefully featured in the shop as well. I'll share more information on that when I can. I am going to be asking them to carry classic colorworks because that's what I want to see. But what I'd like you to do is tell me again in the comments, or go to Shiplap yourself, or message or write them and let them know what you'd like to see in a local needlework shop. What designers would you like them to carry? What fabric would you like them to carry? What thread do you use? I suggest Classic Colorworks for two reasons. Most of the overdyed floss that I use and the designers that I stitch call for Classic Colorworks or Weeks Dye Works. I prefer the Classic Colorworks. So I would love to have it there so I could just go and pick it up. That's my dream. I'm not saying it's their dream, but that's my dream. I'd love to have them. I'd love to get Color and Cotton in their shop because Color and Cotton's one of my favorites. Cosmo's going to be there. And I have Cosmo thread. I haven't used it very much, so I'm excited to give that a try. I suggested to them, but if I'm wrong, let me know and tell me what you would suggest. I said DMC is probably the most popular, most widely known, but it is available at all of the big box stores, and you probably won't be able to get it as cheap as what they are selling it for. So there's not, you know, you got to worry about profit a little bit, right? So I eventually, if they expand into a full needlework shop, of course they'll need DMC, but I'm just thinking of things that we can't just get at a big box store, that we either have to order online or we have to travel. If you're from this area, we have to travel all the way down to Portland, Oregon. So having something local, I am just so excited. So please let me know down below, even if you're not from this area, what would you like to see in a new needlework shop that's just trying to start and expand? What are you looking for? And if you're in this area, I hope that you'll go by there. It's in Tenino, Washington, and I will hopefully see you there. I will be at the, God willing, I will be at the next Shiplap Society. Like I said, I think it's on Thursdays, the second Thursday of the month, I think. Whenever it is, I'll be there. It'll be on their website. And I will have more information on it in the weeks to come. But that Who's the Boss that I showed you, that's going up there. Oh, that's the other thing, my project bags. There's one that Terry made, and the other, I think there's 3 or 4 more that I've made that are up on display there at Shiplap Quilt and Coffee Shop. So I am definitely represented. I am just so excited. Gary and Kirsten, if you're watching this, or any of the creative team, Terry, Debbie, thank you so much for believing in me, for telling me about Shiplap, for hiring me to join your team and just be a part of the exciting things happen there. I just want so much to see this shop succeed, and I am hoping to meet many of you guys there. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye for today. If I have my Instagram story up, I'll put it after this. And if not, I will see you in my next video. Hopefully, only good things from this point on, right? Can we just agree the rest of the summer can be good things? Can we? Okay, let's do that. Bye.